Hello, and welcome to My 2 Cent. My name is Paul Emerson, and I'll be giving you my 2 cent. Today's topic is going to be an overview of the civilization scale. I'm having a really hard time. I've been working on this thing for almost 8 months now, and I'm having a really hard time communicating what it is that I'm trying to describe. So I feel like I should just brainstorm, put together a brainstorming video, and put this information on YouTube while I continue to write the civilization scale in the background. A lot of information is lost in the various different laws of physics that I'm using, to the point where I've had to create my own My02cent civilization scale. So imagine, there's the extent and the regress. The extent and regress. And what these are is they're principles of infinity that I'm using to structure the civilization scale. There's something else. Some of the videos, I'm doing this verbatim off the top of my head. So some of the stuff may be sped up or cut out as I try to figure out how I want to say what it is that I want to say. Not that. I have my three. No, yes, maybe this. No, not that. This is what I'm looking for. Some other system. Give me one. Okay. So there's three more things that I want to use. There's interior. I guess I could just move it closer to me, because you can't see me look over my head. Look over my shoulder. So I'll just move it closer. There's interior. Medial dimension. And external. Okay. So consider this paper. This paper is a medium that allows me to draw images on to communicate some abstract concept. The paper itself is the extent. The boundaries of the paper are the limits. If I want to draw a line, as soon as I hit the boundary of the paper, it can no longer translate any information on the paper because of that limitation of the paper. Beyond the paper is a space which does not allow me to effectively draw or communicate information. This is the paper is the extent. There's nothing within this framework of me trying to communicate something. There is nothing beyond the subject that is the sheet of paper. This paper as a subject is the extent. If I draw something inside of this paper, the existence of this point is dependent on the existence of the paper. Whatever the properties of the paper as a subject is what allows for me to communicate this point as a subject. This point is a regress because this point is within the extent. Now, if I draw another point as an abstract concept, I can say that this point is the universe, right? So if this point is the universe and we know all the attributes of the universe as a subject, what then does the paper become? Because everything that exists inside of the universe. There is no aspect beyond or outside or above the universe by the definition that is given to us by cosmology. So if I can abstract that this point is the infinity that is the universe, that everything which exists inside of the universe exists within this point, then the abstraction questions what is beyond this point. This point is the extent when we're describing the universe. This point is the regress when we're asking the question what is beyond or outside of the universe. This paper, the medium that the universe has been drawn on, becomes the extent, with the universe being the regress within the paper. So the regress and the extent are interchangeable, with the only absolute definition being that the extent is always the regress which encompasses a regress. If that makes any sense. Because while this universe is the regress of this sheet of paper, this sheet of paper is also a regress within reality of what's beyond it. Right now I'm sitting in my room. So my room is the extent. It is the boundary within which I currently am limited to as I move around in my room. Once I open my door, my room is unbound to the rest of the building, the rest of the house, for sake of better words. So now the house is the extent, and each room in the house is the regress of the house. But the house is outside on the planet Earth. So now the house is the regress of the neighborhood or the block or the street or whatever. You can always abstract out. So if you abstract out from your reality, from wherever you are, your room, the room that you're in is the regress. The room is inside of the house is the regress. The house is on a street block. That street block is the regress. The street block is part of your neighborhood. Your neighborhood is part of a city. The city is part of a state. The state is part of a physical geography of a continent on the earth. Each continent is a physical aspect of the planet itself. The planet itself is the regress of the entire solar system. The entire solar system is the regress of the entire galaxy. The entire galaxy is a regress of the entire observable universe. Well, the entire galaxy would be the regress of, and this is kind of where what I'm saying breaks down, because most of what we know, or what has already been illustrated to us, has been elegantly outlined and defined by shows like the History Channel, National Geographic, things of that nature. They've done an exceptionally good job of communicating to us these abstract concepts. So, because I'm trying to go one step further, what I wrote, where is it? Nope, this isn't it. Well, they're on here. So, the universe, our galaxy, cosmology has some very convoluted terms for structures beyond the galaxy. So you have a galaxy, I don't use pencils as often as I need to. Beyond the galaxy, you have the local group, which is a collection of galaxies. The super cluster, right? The local group, the super clusters. Then you have the local supercluster. And then beyond the local supercluster, you have the galaxy filaments. Now, in the context of what I'm working on, these are too convoluted to be elegant enough for what I'm working with. So I redefined them. I didn't reimagine them, but I redefined them as, where are they? The interior galactic regress and the interior galaxy void regress. The medial and the external the interior galactic regress and interior galactic void, the medial galactic regress and the medial galactic void regress, the external galactic regress and the external galactic void regress. And then lastly is the galactic filament regress and galaxy void regress. So with these abstractions, what they give me is something like this. Or maybe this makes more sense. They give me this. They give me this. The particle, oh, I haven't gotten that far yet. Yeah, it probably makes more sense just to do this for right now. I'll get to this in a second. So we have the galactic filament. We have the galactic filament. No, that's wrong. We have the galactic filament, the external galactic regress and external galactic void regress. The medial galactic regress and medial, I just broke this pencil. The medial galactic void regress. Is it broken? No, it's not broken. Fortunately, I got lucky. And then lastly, the interior galactic regress and interior galactic void. And what these are a collection of galaxies. So, after the galaxy, we have this, the local group, as it is described by modern cosmology. All of this is the verse, and the verse is just the observable universe. But this regress, all of this infinity, because the galaxies are pretty big, and then you have a group of galaxies, you have a group of galaxy groups, then you have a group of the groups of galaxies, and you have a group of the groups of the groups of galaxies. So this gets pretty big and gets kind of stupid in size. All of this translates to this. With this inner circle, all of this inner information is this. All of this is inside of this. But all of this resides inside of this as points of a vast infinity. I don't really have the astronomical numbers to tell you how many points there would be, but there would be an indeterminate amount. There's a finite number of them because the space that they occupy, which is the galactic void regress, is a finite volume. But there's an infinite number of them in the sense that they represent a percentage of infinity. 0.000000001% of infinity is still infinity. And that's what this represents. It represents a percent of infinity because this is the verse. The verse is the observable. I might as well. Alexa, spell observable.
Adorable is spelled.
Alexa, stop.
D.
Alexa, spell observable.
Observable is spelled O-B-S-E-R-V-A-B-L-E.
So the observable universe is also the verse. And what I'll do is this. I'll explain it this way. We're always given this epic, the universe. I might as well try to write legibly. The universe, right? It's always this oval, this pretty oval shape that's full of all of the stars. Well, this is usually the microwave background image that looks like random noise clouds of different colors, variants, usually green and red with some yellows and blues in there. But this is the universe, right? So this right here, this circle right here will be a single point, a single dot, and it would be our universe. It'll be our corner of the galaxy. I mean, our corner. It'll be our little section of the universe. Am I still recording? Yeah, I'm still recording. So this little point here is the verse. And the verse is the observable universe in relation to the universe. Now, this zoomed in version of this is the zoomed in of this, right? The white beyond this is the regress of this. So all of this paper outside of the verse is reflected in all of this space inside of here. So this is the observable universe expanding into itself, as they say. Scientists say the universe is everything that is, so it's an expansion into itself, which is fine. I'm not going to argue the logic. But My02cent cosmology, which is the foundation of the civilization scale, says that if there are multiple realities in parallel universes, then you need some form of some semantic taxonomy that you can utilize to describe what it is you're stating plainly. So if there are parallel universes beyond our own, then these other universes must exist outside of our universe. So our universe is expanding into some idea or concept or ontology that in of itself is itself, but it's a bound ontology that allows the universe to exist exclusively, where the ability or the presence for something else to exist that is not equal to the universe to also exist separate. That falls into the category of thermodynamics, and this is why all of these things kind of fall apart, because when you're writing, you can't just arbitrarily throw something else. You can't talk about chicken and then just start talking about dinosaurs without context. And the time it takes you to go from the chicken to the dinosaurs, the reader gets lost, right? So that's the conflict that I'm having. I'm talking about the universe, and then I want to explain why there's something outside of the universe, based on the premise of there being something parallel, a parallel or alternate universe to the universe, but the existence of a parallel or alternate universe, there is no foundational reasoning for it other than the semantic and rational implementation of the existence or the presence of alternate parallel universes. So it falls apart in that way, which is why I created the extent and the regress. Because now, instead of saying, oh, well, there's a parallel universe because there's an infinite multiverse, yada yada, etc., I say that the universe is inside of the extent of existence. And existence is all shared universes. And this is how elegant it is for me, but hard to communicate. The verse is a property of the universe as a point. The universe is a property of existence also as a point. Now, instead of drawing some bound environment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say this sheet of paper is the extent of existence. Any regress that I draw is a universe. All of these universes are universes. All of these extents, all of these regresses are universes. Now I can draw a boundary, giving myself more dimensions to my regress, where within we can abstract higher dimensions. So now I can do something not elegantly, but I can do this. And what this represents, or what it's trying to communicate, is this three-dimensional cube is a single universe, but the cube is representing the regress within the extent of existence that allows for alternate and parallel realities. Alternate and parallel universes. So, as a circle can be used to define a universe, it can also be the regress of multiple parallel alternate universes and realities and multiverses, which is, it's difficult to explain all of that, but that's kind of how we're going with this. So if we're in universe A, and then this is universe B, these universes are parallel, right? So inside of universe A could be a regress of alternate universes which make up the bulk of universe A. The alternate universes are not close to universe A. They are the infinite regress of universe A, if that makes any sense. So now this is this. This is this. This is this. And this point right here is the largest scale knowable directly observable structure in our wait. That would be, I think I did draw it. No, that is the verse, and then this is this information. So that's where I am. It's very convoluted, but I have a structure, and it pretty much goes, the verse, the verse, the universe, existence, the multiverse, the omniverse, and then omni-existence. Omni-existence. And then beyond omni-existence, infinite and infinity, which would be, in the context of this, infinite and infinity would literally be our entire universe. Because that would be the best approximation of the analogy that I could actually give. But everything not on this sheet of paper, this sheet of paper would represent all of an infinite existence. Everything that can exist has to have the same properties of this sheet of paper to inherit its existence from, to just properly describe omni-existence. And everything beyond this sheet of paper that doesn't share in kind the same properties of this sheet of paper would be non-existence. To include everything that doesn't share the same quality and nature of this paper, all omni-existence. That means that because this book is comprised of material that is equal to this, then this would also be an aspect of omni-existence separated by infinite and infinity. And then you can get as distracted saying that different weights and different grades of paper may or may not exist relative to each other depending on their properties. When you set this as when you set this as X, that existence or omni-existence equals X, where this is X, and everything not this is sorry, where this is X and everything not equal to this is non-existence, is infinite and infinity. But I'm rambling. I'm gonna keep working on trying to figure out how to get this stuff to be more organized and make more sense. If you have any suggestions or ideas, comment in the comment section. I can see my channel growing slowly but surely, and it's very motivating, but without feedback, I don't really know what I'm doing right or what I should do better or what I'm doing wrong and should try to avoid. So, as always, my name is Paul. That's My02cent.